Trump's tariffs, prices going up, global instability, stock markets crashing. Assalamu alaikum and welcome. This is the only way up. Trump has rocked the world with his tariffs, especially with China, with all the countries, pretty much all the countries in the world. It seems like a new world order economically. What is going on?
Yes, Akam Shani, hope you're well, inshallah. So, yes, Donald Trump has started the biggest trade war in modern history. He's imposed a raft of tariffs on the whole world. The whole world is reeling. They're deciding how they're going to deal with this. And he hasn't spared anyone. I think the baseline tariff was 10%. And then other countries, at least 60, have got higher tariffs based on their trade surplus with America. And he hasn't spared anyone. South Korea, Japan, who are allies, they got a high tariff rate. Even Israel got a 17% rate. The UK considered itself quite lucky, only got 10% in the end. So, yeah, you mentioned it's well and truly an end of an era. Globalization, free trade, reducing barriers is now a thing of the past. And what you're now seeing is erecting barriers, whether it's direct or indirect, is now the thing. So it's interesting. Every day there seems to be developments. I think China was given a 45, 46% tariff. Now it's gone above 100% because they've reciprocated. What's actually interesting is what the American administration seems to want is we're putting tariffs on you. You come to America and you come and negotiate with us. And you come and negotiate, we can come to some sort of agreement. So China has put tariffs on America. So America slapped even more tariffs on them. And Israel Netanyahu went to America the last couple of days, and he doesn't seem to have got everything he wanted. But what it seems to be is a lot of this seems to really be targeted at China. I think today we're recording this on the 9th of April. He's put a 90-day moratorium on the rest of the world, minus China, which probably indicates a lot of this is about China. So what that really shows us, this isn't all about economics and national interest. A lot of this is about geopolitics, and it's really about this peer competitor, China. But you have to keep in mind, America invaded countries in the past for free trade. America imposed free trade and globalization upon everybody. Now it seems to be doing the complete opposite. And I like the Economist front page this week, which I think is still going to come out. They said Trump's tariffs, will this really make China great again, or will it make America great again? So what you've got here is everyone's going to have to deal with America bilaterally now. The multilateral institutions are a thing of the past. And because America is the largest economy, America has an advantage in any negotiation. And that's what Trump is doing. Finally, I'll just say, the Soviet Union and the Roman Empire, they did many things to try and save their empires. They imposed things, they invaded, they produced debt. And the wider context here, this is what Trump's trying to do. He keeps saying in his narrative, America's being raped, America's being abused, and I'm putting that straight. And both the Roman and the Soviet Union collapsed in the end, despite everything they did. So Trump these actions are in the context of making America great, reversing the decline. And it remains to be seen if he succeeds or if he actually contributes toward the collapse of America.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting. It's really coming out that what is America as a global leader? It does see the world as a big business place. Where can I make profit? Where can I make money? Where can I be advantageous for me? And this does, in a way, remind me of Iraq second under Bush Jr. And what was it? It was a lot of it is to do with the oil in that region. Again, another business side of things. There, they did have a global momentum and moral ground globally to go in, but here they don't. And essentially, where is the noise of dissatisfaction coming from? It's primarily from Europe. Why? The rest of the world has been suffering under capitalism, under America's leadership for decades, ever since they took over the leadership of the world, except for Europe. Europe and some, Japan, South Korea, they've prospered under and with America, but America prospering the most. Now they're being let go by America, and this is where the cries are coming from. This shows how they do look at it as straight business transactional deal, and the person who does this without even thinking about it As part of his second nature is Trump. So this isn't, I don't think, anything surprising or new. This is how America has always looked at the world, as a business deal. Where can I get resources? Where can I get assets? Where can I make money? Where can I dominate? And the rest of the world suffers.
I think also, Shine, the approach is really interesting. If this is about he wants to revive American industry, he wants to bring US companies back again, he wants to revive the Rust Belt, as he calls it, then surely you would start a massive investment program. You would give tax concessions to American companies. You'd make it easier for foreign companies to come and invest in America. And within 5 to 10 years, you'll probably see a revival of technology and these areas that have suffered under globalization. But the approach you see is one that a bully does, you impose, rather than having a multilateral approach, collective approach, let's sit people down, let's come to some sort of agreement. It is really we're going to impose and we're going to bully. And if you are another country in the world, you're probably thinking maybe it's time we establish alternative blocks. Maybe it's time we establish an alternative economic order with like minded countries that doesn't include America. So, in the end, if this is America's attempt to reverse the decline, and to remain a power, you may have actually done actions which are going to achieve the complete opposite to what you're actually trying to do. And it just shows you really where America is. You need probably a president who is principled, he believes in values, he creates certainty, but he does things and they remain for a long time. What you see with Trump, he puts tariffs on, he removes tariffs, he says one thing, he says another. And that isn't what causes certainty. And these are all examples of empires in decline. Mikhail Gorbachev, much like Trump, he came in and his job was to save the empire, and within 6 years, the Soviet Union was gone. And Trump is doing that. You're seeing crashes in the bond market, you're seeing crashes in the stock market. Can you really trust America now if you make an agreement with them? Will America even stick to it? So none of this really bodes well for a country that's trying to maintain its superpower position. If anything, now this probably will give impetus to countries like China and Russia, who have for a long time been talking of alternative blocks, the BRICS, alternative systems, and this will probably give it more impetus now, which is the exact thing America's trying to stop. So it's funny. Some of the things Trump is doing the exact opposite to what he's trying to achieve.
And I think it's a very interesting point that you mentioned about America's decline. And generally, uh, being the leader of Western civilization, Western ideology, its outlook, uh, there's been a lot of declines, moral decline. We've seen the breakup of the family, we've seen the breakup of the home. In America, they got a fentanyl crisis. The terminology isn't mother and father now, it's the baby's father and the baby's mama. The father and mother is gone. There's body count, there's promiscuity, there's lewdness, there's political decline in terms of leaders. They're throwing certain groups under the bus. Trump deporting people, calling them criminals, murderers, it doesn't matter who they are, cancelling visas. Here you've had populist movements, whoever we can blame, whether it's a migrant, whether it's Muslim, whether it's this group, that group, let's blame them. So politically, it's declined. As a security leadership for the world, we're seeing Europe rearming, investing well, they call it defense, but it's really offense, weapons. They can't trust each other anymore. The countries, they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel safe. And now you're getting the economic decline. They're all going back to Trump to renegotiate. And who's going to get the better deal? Who's going to suffer? Who's going to be having to compromise on regulation and standards? Who's going to be making the more money? So overall, the world does need an alternative system, alternative outlook based on correct values of helping people, securing all people, securing the future of all people. Let's see how this develops. Jazakallah khair for your thoughts, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.